Hey, this is Tommy Victor, guitar player, singer for Prong, and you're watching the Impact Channel.
Congratulations on your new album, Ruining Lives. Are you satisfied with the fans' reactions?
Yeah, I mean, people are liking it. I mean, I haven't really heard anything negative about it. There's a couple of weird reviews, but it's been about 80–90% positive, which is good for Prong. Sometimes people blast us all the time, so it's been good. I'm happy about it.
And what is your favorite song from Ruining Lives? Which ones do you enjoy to play the most?
We haven't really played that many live. I mean, we're doing Ruining Lives, and there's a video for Remove Separate Self is coming out, and that's the next single. Turnover we play. Our live show is pretty much a lot of cleansing material, but I mean, every song on the new record is good. I mean, we just got really lucky, and just every song came out really top notch. I mean, any song on the record could have been a single, really. I mean, it's that's with how it came out. It's like they were all good songs.
Many bands with unique style name Prong as one of their main influences. How do you feel when bands refer to Prong?
I mean, a lot of people don't refer to Prong, so I mean, not to be negative. So that has no effect on my daily activity. I mean, I just do what I do daily, and words are words. I really don't care anymore. You know, it's like I don't. You know, if I was really concentrating on glory and ego gratification with this thing, I would have ended a long time ago, because then it's never enough. So I just keep myself humble somehow.
If you had a chance to pick the bands for a Prong tribute album, which bands would you be on your list?
That's a fantastic question. I don't know. Toxic Holocaust, maybe. Municipal Waste, Dew Scented, Fear Factory. I mean, if bigger bands like Korn would do it, sure. I mean, and you know, and bands like the Deftones, or who would do it? I think the Deftones would be a good candidate to do a Prong cover. I would never ask a band like Killing Joke, because we stole from Killing Joke, and they're one of my favorite bands. So, I mean, newer groups, again, like some of the, you know, like Warbringer and some of those bands that are sort of thrashy would be interesting. And then I like what is this band? Beast Milk, I like a lot. That would be cool.
And do you have any favorite bands from the new generations?
Not really. I mean, I like Gojira a lot. I think they're awesome. And Meshuggah, I don't know if that's the new generation. I don't really know what the new, what's coming out now. I don't really know. I mean, like, Gojira is like the last generation of bands that I'm familiar with.
You have worked with some big names like Danzig and Ministry. Who else would you like to work with?
I mean, again, Killing Joke. I mean, Jazz Coleman is a hero of mine, and I don't know if I'm worthy of actually doing a project with him. He's just so advanced. It's like, to me, he's like my McCartney, or, you know, he's just amazing. You know, I have more respect for him than anybody. The other guys I like, I mean, you know, there's this thing in my heart with Andrew Eldritch, like, you know, Sisters of Mercy, I really like a lot, and I think he was great. Those are two of my real serious heroes. Peter Murphy, another guy.
You used to work at a famous club in New York. How do you remember those days?
They were really crazy. I mean, to remember everything would be impossible. I mean, there was a lot of drugs, there was a lot of drinking, there was a lot of girls, there was a lot of fights, there was a lot of drama, there was, you know, all-nighters, not sleeping, you know, it was just craziness. It was, it was a great time in my life. I mean, I was working hard. How I fit Prong into the schedule of working at CBGB, and I don't really know. I mean, it's sometimes like, you know, like especially with I realized putting like the last record together, and how the early Prong records came together so fast, and it's like this. It's almost like, you know, you're in touch with like a higher power or something that makes these things happen. Because I really didn't have the energy or the knowledge to make these things happen. I mean, really, like I hadn't really been playing with that guitar that long. Even when Prong started, I was playing bass in bands, and how it all came together, and it was just sheer luck. And but anyhow, like those days were crazy, man. Like living on the Lower East Side was a different thing. It was dirty and disgusting, but it was beautiful. It was great, you know. It was like it doesn't exist anymore. That whole scene is gone. You know, there's people squatting, living in abandoned buildings, and just it was crazy, man. There's no place. New York doesn't exist like that. It's just a playground for rich people now.
And what is the club scene, and in general the status of rock metal nowadays in the United States?
I think you got to find it more in obscure places like Savannah, Georgia, and that's where, you know, Black Tusk and Baroness came out of there, and just different places, you know, like the major cities. Again, like I almost referred to in the last question, is a lot of it's like a lot of rich people, and it's like there's not really a rock metal scene in the urban centers anymore, because it seems to be more of a lower middle class music, and it seems to be out in the suburbs more. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like it's years ago, when Prong started in New York, there was so many places to play, like clubs in New York City, and that doesn't exist anymore. You know, people have bars that we just play there, and we played like these dumpy bars out in Jersey and stuff. So that doesn't exist anymore. You have the internet now, and you know, it's just a whole different thing. It's not the same.
You have a signature Schecter guitar. Please introduce this model in a few words.
Well, it's changed. I mean, there's one that the first 2-year model. Now I changed to the one that's coming out next year is different. It's more like the guitar I use with Danzig, which actually it's like this, but not with this finish. So this is a Devil. I went back to the SG style design on this. I mean, both models, like, I mean, when we go out on the Overkill tour, I'll be using the old model, and like what I'm playing today is actually the new model, because I left the guitars here in Europe, so, but the new model is up there when I'm playing tonight. So, I have 2 sets, and I don't have all the new model yet, so I'm going to use the old model in the States.
You have a beautiful daughter, Victoria. Is she a Prong fan?
No, she'll walk around with a t-shirt on. I don't even think she really listens to the records that much. I mean, you know, it's like kids today. They're into, you know, electronic dance music and hip-hop. You know, she's not really a rock fan. I mean, the only thing she listened to that's semi-rock is like Depeche Mode. She's into that, but you know, she's a chick too. I mean, how many chicks are really into like guitar stuff like Prong, you know?
As a father, what values do you want to teach her the most?
Oh man, every value I tried to tell her, it's not worked. So it's you know what? I've had to accept the fact that, you know, everybody's on their own path. That you really you have to trust in God to know what's going on in the big picture, because you can't control people. You can't tell people what to do, regardless of anything. I mean, everyone's on their own destiny, and you know, I don't even say anything anymore. It's like you can't mold people. It's pointless. They have to learn on them by themselves, or they're born into a certain way of thinking. I think a lot of people, you know, it's like the modern attitude of parenting is like that. However, you know, like I don't know if it was because of my upbringing being so strict that it taught me to be God-fearing, where I understand consequences, and I don't think a lot of people understand consequences these days that much. Although I've tried to tempt them, you know, test consequences a lot, but you know, I realize deep down inside that, you know, you got to do the right thing in life.
Who inspired you the most to be a musician?
It's either Richie Blackmore or Tony Iommi or Geezer Butler. It's one of those guys, or maybe Gene Simmons. So I think like Kiss, Sabbath, and Deep Purple were like, when I heard those bands, I freaked out. Like that was it. It was all over for me.
Do you remember the first song you ever learned?
I think it was Baby Strutter, a Kiss song.
What was the first record you bought?
It was David Bowie's Space Oddity, a 7-inch. I was really into Bowie too. Like as a kid, I was fascinated. Bowie was a big thing.
Do you remember your first concert?
Yeah, it was Black Oak, Arkansas. I was 10 years old. And I went with my brother, and he hated it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Who was the craziest fan you ever met?
Fan? There was some guy in Ireland, I mean in Northern Ireland last night, I don't know his name, but he was pretty nuts. I mean, he had every record, and he had every Danzig record I played on, he had every Ministry record, he had every Prong record, except for Rooting Lives, but I mean, there's a lot of crazy fans. So, I mean, there's people like, there's a woman that we know that she's got a straight job at Lufthansa, and she comes to see us all over the place. I mean, there's a lot of interesting characters, even in the small inner sanctum of Prong. You know, it's not the hugest band in the world, but I mean, we have some crazy fans. But I think people are really well behaved. I mean, it's not anybody that I'm afraid of, or you know, it's because I have a lot of different experiences with playing with Danzig. I mean, some of the fans who for Glenn, I'm afraid of. I think that they're potentially sick and dangerous. Prong fans are a little bit more not like that. So,
please name your 5 favorite albums.
My 5 favorite albums of all time. I have to say Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is one of my favorites.
Don't forget the New Kids on the Block.
Right, that one. There's like records like you know, like Goat's Head Soup by Rolling Stones, and I mean it always changes. Like I like Cream a lot. Disraeli Gears is a great record to me. I don't really have top 5. I mean, like other ones I could list, like Iron Butterfly, In and the God of the Vita is like a record that I always like, and Killing Joke, the first record. Yeah, I could go for Slayer. I would say, you know, either Rain and Blood or South of Heaven, too. So those are influential records for me.
Any message to the fans?
Huh?
Any message to the fans?
Thank you for your support. Check out the website. It's looking pretty good. ProngMusic.com. Hit me up on Twitter, Prong Music, and Facebook. So I hope to see you on the road. We come back to Europe again in October and November on tour with Overkill. We have an American tour with Overkill starting in August. So or September. So check out the website. All the dates are up there. So we'll be on, and we're hitting Australia too. So Australia, New Zealand. So thank you for your support.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, man.